Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the energies of the week, starting from today, Monday, the 18th of March, until Sunday, the 24th of March. I hope that you are all well. So, quite a bit going on this week, I think. Um, some of the energies might feel pretty tense, I'm being told by my guides, and just by reading about the sort of astrological happenings in the sky. Um, Also, we've got the spring equinox on Wednesday in the northern hemisphere, of course, autumn equinox in the southern hemisphere, equal amounts of light and dark. And for us in the northern hemisphere, it's the promise of spring, um, lighter, longer days, um, which is lovely, of course. And we also have upcoming, not till next Monday, but we'll be in the energy of it already, a full moon eclipse in Libra. We're entering Aries season on the 20th, I believe, or the 21st of March. Aries is all about taking action. It's also the first sign of the zodiac. So for many, this is seen as the actual new year rather than the beginning of January, which perhaps makes sense because um, it's dull and dark and wet quite often in those months, in that month of January for sure. Whereas spring equinox is more positive. Um, it feels like a good time to start things or restart things. So, and with the full moon being an eclipse, it's more intense, of course. It's in Libra, which is all about balance. If you know, the Libra is represented by scales. It's also to do with relationships. So, what is out of balance in your life, maybe in your relationships as well. As I said, that's not really till Monday, but next Monday, the 25th. So, I may talk more about it then, but you will be in that energy. So, this week is a good week to be looking at, what can you do to bring some more balance into your life and, in particular, into your relationships. Okay, so let's let's see what else my guides have to say about this week. So I'll bring them in now. Okay. Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be here. Right, yes, so a lot is to do with the equinoxes. We'll concentrate on the northern hemisphere because that's purely where our channel Alwyn is based, and many of you. So spring equinox is a lovely time of year. It heralds the start of spring. Nature is waking up, and so might you be, so to speak. It's a good time leading up to then to reflect on how far you've come since the beginning of the calendar year in your world. Have you got as far as you wanted to? Maybe you've gone off track slightly, or maybe the track you started off on is not the one you actually want to be on after all. So it's a good time this week to do a little bit of reflection, really tuning in with your inner dialogue as well, your inner wisdom. What is it your soul is calling for? Because as you move into spring and the Aries season in particular, Aries is all about taking action, new starts, rebirth, new beginnings. What is it you want to change in your life? What do you need to let go of to enable things to change? And this is at a very deep soul level. Okay, there may be little things in your life that need changing, which can be done fairly easily, but this is something really deep in your heart and in your soul, something that has been showing up time and time again. And either you've been ignoring it, or the timing wasn't right to do something about it, or it's difficult to do something about it. So, really tune in this week. You may find the energy is quite intense, even though it's a positive thing moving into spring. Lighter days are coming, of course. You're really heading into the ascension energies too, because Easter is not far away. Even if you're not religious, that's that's kind of a rebirth season as well. Um, it is really quite intense. Um, but it's also about, you know, almost having an assessment of yourself. Not forgetting how well you've done so far, how much work you've already done on your own healing journey. Congratulating yourself for getting this far. Congratulating yourself for coming out of winter, right? Spring equinox years ago used to be a real celebration of coming out of a long, dark winter. Yeah, so how far have you come? Um, think about that. Sometimes you forget, um, what you have achieved already. Um, the other energies this week, there is a need for bringing in some more balance, maybe in the way you give and receive, not just financially or anything like that, but with your energy. Are you receiving as much as you're giving out? Have a look at your relationships, especially your closest relationships. What needs to change there? What's not quite in balance? Also, for some of you, unfortunately, there will be a sudden ending of something this week. It's likely to be a relationship, but it might not be. It might be a job or something like that, or a way of doing something in your business which just isn't working anymore, but you realize it just has to come to an end right now. So it's not, having said all of that, it's not really that unexpected. It's because we're in eclipse season, or you're in eclipse season. Eclipses do tend to shine light on what needs to stop or what needs to change. And if you're ignoring those signs, or perhaps you just haven't seen it because you've got so much else going on in your life, then the eclipse may well show it for you, right? So just be aware of that. So if that happens for you, just know it's part of what's meant to be, that the universe really does have your back, and whatever is leaving, something else, something better will come. Okay. Yes, and just generally looking at how you can be more balanced in your life. If you're working too hard, how can you bring in some more time for relaxation and fun? If you're not working hard enough, maybe you need to do some more and have less fun, although we don't really like the idea of that. But just see where you're out of balance. Or maybe it's with your own self-care routine. Are you taking great care of yourself, or are you too busy looking after everyone else? So it's those sorts of questions to pose this week, really. And then you really will be heading from next week towards the Easter period, towards the clocks going forward in the Northern Hemisphere, and things wanted to take on a quicker pace in your lives. All right, so we hope that makes sense. Just go with how you're feeling. We do recommend, as always, really tuning into your heart and your soul. Maybe do some journaling on, where things might be out of balance, maybe where you've been keeping yourself small. How can you start to shine? All right, so take care, and we'll be back next week. All right, so I hope that made some sort of sense. The other thing that was coming through that I don't think I actually said was they said something about, for some of you, there might be some endings. Also, there's something about truth being revealed as well. So that doesn't always necessarily mean an ending, but just be aware. Okay, so if you're feeling like you need some help sort of getting your life on track, having some deep healing to help that, and setting some goals or intentions rather, then do join me for my 3 evenings, which start on the 27th of March. So that's next week, Wednesday, a week on Wednesday, the first one. The first one is we're going on a galactic journey, and you will receive guidance from the Galactic Council, and you will also be able to let go of something energetically that you've been holding on to, which is really going to help you move forward, spring forward even, Um, and then there's another couple of evenings, one in April and one in May. You can do them individually, um, but I do recommend you do all three because they build on each other. But it is very deeply healing, and you will leave with more clarity and more um, just that feeling of being more sure about the direction in which you are meant to be heading or you want to be heading. All right, so have a great week. Um, Hopefully, the sun will come out at some point this week to acknowledge the spring. Um, Take care, everyone, and I will be back on Monday. Bye for now.